I actually realized last turn I forgot to side in my Duresses. Being on the play versus quest, Duress is quite good at getting the quest out of their hand, leaving their hand mostly dead, especially if they kept it because it had a quest. But now being on the draw, that's irrelevant. So this is now the best setup. We'll go straight back into the game. And we'll see what we can do with this hand. Oh no, that's a little land. Could mulligan myself into oblivion here if I throw this back. The Frost Titan is basically a mulligan already, because that's not relevant in the relevant part of the game. By the time I can cast both Frost Titan and Grave Titan, I've already won the game if I'm not dead. But Disfigure, without the Disfigure, it's definitely throwing it back. There's no draw spells. I would just be too horribly upset if I threw this back and got a one lander, so I'm gonna keep this. Hope for the best. No one drop, no quest, no zero drop. Basically the best thing to happen to me in any quest game I've ever played. So now he gets to Hawks probably, but might be Stoneforge Mystic. If it's a Stoneforge Mystic, he gets a clunky equipment because I disfigure the Mystic. Sword. I'm gonna go ahead and disfigure this now. That's gonna save him a mana later on, as well as the Disfigure is not going to save me that much more damage against any of his other guys. I'm going to play a Rainforest here so that I can fake Mana Leak. We're going to need to draw some spells here. He might just be able to kill me with the middle of his curve. Okay. If we don't draw relevant spells, Core Duelist with a sword is a definite dead. So that is probably one of the best things we could have drawn. Yeah, I'm still going to leave up Mana Leak here because if he goes for the sword, I can disfigure in response because he doesn't have mana up. And it still wards him off playing Squadron Hawks, whereas if I disfigure, he would go straight for the Hawks. With no play, I don't like disfiguring here. Ooh, that's actually a good one. It means next turn Titan. Gonna go like this so that I can leave up, if he has a tech edge, I can use this to disfigure and leave up Mana Leak still. Now that he has all his mana untapped, there's no difference between disfiguring on my turn and disfiguring on his turn. At this point, end of turn, if he doesn't play anything, I am going to disfigure his Duelist. If his hand is full of land and equipment, it's basically awesome. I am going to disfigure now because getting a Emerge Unscathed out of his hand is just going to be good here. Whereas tapping Frost Titan and getting Emerge Unscathed Brave the Elements, same thing. Um, means I can't tap down his dude. And so he gets to attack again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Ooh. So basically now I just get to leave up Creeping Tar Pit and Doomblade because if I Grave Titan, he plays a land, goes Sword, equips Core Skyfisher, hit me. If I go Frost Titan, tapping Core Skyfisher, he does the same thing to Corduous, which is even worse. If I tap the Corduous, he does the same thing to Skyfisher, which is the same. It might not be the worst thing, but it's also unnecessary when I can just try and reduce the number of creatures on the board, because he's clearly not got a bunch of creatures stacked up in hand. So I can get him to tap out for this sword. I can also see if he has another land, because if he doesn't, Quest for the Holy Relic is so okay. Without any creatures, it is a dead card. So yeah, I raised this obviously, but I'm just thinking if Doomblade is better before or after I take damage. I don't know, if I'm only taking 2, I still think I can do it. I can handle being on 11. Yep. Sword? Alright. Sword means Doomblade, because next turn Grave Titan, the turn after that Frost Titan, whatever he played, although he can play and then equip with Sword. No, not Doomblade, but then I have to play Frost Titan, and I can't play Grave Titan. And then I just attack with Grave Titan, and I'm basically if I Doomblade, he plays a guy and equips in the same turn, I just attack with Grave Titan and I'm basically winning. Yeah, okay. Doomblade here is fine so that I can play Grave Titan next turn. It puts on so much more damage, stacks under pressure, I win in... is Grave Titan 10 power for... That's insane. Yeah, so I win in 2 turns, unless he starts chumping. So yeah, that was... I didn't keep track of land drops, which was a mistake, but I think that's irrelevant here. It just means it's the same thing, except I should have kept my Doomblade, because now I have to Frost Titan. While it puts on less pressure, I'm just going to leave Verdant Catacombs there so I don't have to lose that 1 life. It might be important. While this puts on a lot less pressure, it stops me from being immediately hounded by the sword. Playing nothing and just mana leaking the sword is kind of bad, especially because 1, if he draws a land, I can't mana leak the sword, and 2, I have no pressure on the board myself. So he plays sword and equips it. Then I play Grave Titan and he's at... Ooh. Changes things, equipping it with an outfitter. Might even equip the sword to itself, would probably be a better bet. Alright. Well, while that was better given the board state, given my hand, if you had known my hand, it probably would have been better to put it on the Glint Hawk, because now what I do is I attack into the core outfitter. He takes no damage, but his Glint Hawk is tapped and he can't attack through Grave Titan. Do I also want to preordain? It means I have to crack Verdant Catacombs if I don't find a land. I think I'm fine with that. So I'll cast Preordain first, so that I have knowledge of what I'm getting. Darkslick Shores is not any good. Frost Titan is good. I will now attack, tapping Glinthawk, so he can't equip Glinthawk and attack. He gets to block for free, but he cannot attack back through a Grave Titan, so that's okay. He can change his equip over to Glinthawk, in which case I start to race him. And I have a very formidable ground army. I'm going to crack this now, because I have to. His 4/4... He's a 4/4 with the sword, the Hawk is, so he can't attack me next turn. The turn after that he can attack me, the turn after that he can attack me, and the turn after that he can kill me. So I'm definitely winning this race. See, if he's got Brave the Elements here, he gets a wolf, he mills me for 10, and he hits me for 4, so I go to 6, and then he can re-equip. But I tap the wolf, and he takes 12, 14, 16, not enough. Right, so he's just going to re-equip, but he hasn't got Brave the Elements anyway. So yeah, that's what I said he was going to do. It's all going according to plan. At this point, he is... A Brave the Elements is not... I mean, him hitting me with a sword once is not instant death. Nothing he plays could make it instant death. I'm going to bank on his 1 card draw not being able to allow him to play 3 creatures. Even Squadron Hawks, he needs another land, which I'm assuming he would have played, but he might have it in hand. So that might actually be the incorrect play, because that would kill me. Brave the Elements. Brave the Elements, drawing Squadron Hawks, land in hand means I'm dead. But that's kind of so outrageous, because I can go for the kill this turn. Basically he has to give that prop blue. Yeah, so he GG'd me there, so we don't have to think about it. He clearly does not have... He's clearly not slow rolling land and Brave the Elements at the same time and expecting to draw Squadron Hawks. Match over, so now we have to wait... Or, now, you guys don't have to wait, I'm going to stop the recording. But I have to wait to the end of this, and then I can get my 6 packs, and I can do this again. But not tonight, some other time, because it's getting late now. That went, yes, better than the last one, but still was aggro after aggro after aggro, which I guess can be expected on Magic Online because aggro is such a cheap deck. There is definitely... That is not a representation of the metagame online, having 4 aggro decks in a row. There is definitely a large number of control and mid-range decks. I just didn't get matched up against any of them. So... next time, we're going to be watching out for vampires again. I don't know what changes I can make to help that, but hopefully next time we'll be able to get some control matches in, so I can talk about that, because it really is a very different game playing against a control match. And yeah, I might end up doing some drafts as well, but I'm not all that good at Scars of Mirrodin draft. I was better at some of the early sets, but Scars of Mirrodin draft is actually pretty hard. So I might get to that, but I don't know when. And until then, yeah, that's about it.